Right, hi lads and lasses, and welcome to Darts Coaching with Dynamite Dave, and this month's edition of A Chuck and a Chat. Right, in this month's edition of A Chuck and a Chat, we've got loads and loads of content. We've got a challenge, we've got the new darts, the target launch. We've had a little bit of a communication with Darts Wolf 180, who was big on Twitter and massive with the Darts Planet TV team. A while back he's opening his own TV channel, so we're going to give that a little bit of a plug. BVD, still working in association with BVD. That's where we got, well I got all the target dart, the new target range darts from that we're going to be giving away in the raffles. We're also going to carry on the old school videos, so we've got as far as practice routines and what have you. So a little bit of, with that challenge, we're going to have a little bit of a talk about practice and how important it is and how to go about it. So let's go over into section 1 without further ado. So let's go over there right now. So here we are over in section 1. Section 1, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the new target darts that have come. Again, a little bit of a plug, as it is every month. It's £2 down here, PayPal me. 2, 4, 6 or £8 gets you 1, 2, 3 or 4 tickets. You put that magic £10 in, and you, instead of getting 5 tickets, you get 10 tickets. So it's entirely up to you how much you put in, but don't forget, either in one go or a combination over the month, if you put £10 or more in, I'll double your tickets for you. Right, so this is the November raffle, and then the December raffle, which is going to be the big one. It's going to be the big one of the year, like it was last year. I gave a full setup away, including a soft tip board, a dart board, all the bits around it, but it's going to be even bigger than that this year. It all depends on how much stuff I can manage to accumulate between now and Christmas. I want to make as many people happy for Christmas as I can. We've not yet come to a date for the draw for that. We're toying with the idea of it being either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, Boxing Day maybe, and then get the stuff shipped out over in between Christmas and New Year. So that's coming up for December. Now back onto November's raffle, which is going to be as good as it always is, and obviously we've got some new stuff. What went last month was Gorilla Stands, so it shows how popular they are. Really good piece of kit them. I had to send one to Carlisle, up in Carlisle there, top end of England, and the other one went all the way to New Mexico. To Anthony Pergolesi, who won the first prize last month. His stuff's on it, winging its way to him. So don't forget, the more people have a go on it, the more prizes I can get for the following month, and the better it becomes. And now I've been building the prizes up. Obviously we're going to have a cracking do at Christmas, so I can give a lot more prizes away than I would normally have been able to do. So I'm really looking forward to that, I really am. Right, so let's go through these new target darts just quickly, and then what I'm going to do is in the first raffle plug, the proper raffle plug, I'll chuck all these darts for you, yeah? Like I normally do. I'll make a video out of the plug for the raffle and chucking all these new darts. So first of all, these are what caught my eye in the actual target range, which are the target orbs. The two reasons why these caught my eye. Right, a little bit of an interjection here, just to talk about a couple of little things, a couple of shout outs to start off with. I want to say a massive thanks to BVD Darts, that's Brian Van Doren, so BVD Darts over there in Northern Ireland. They were the suppliers of the target equipment, so the new target stuff that you see there, I bought them off Brian, and he was very kindly giving me a nice trade discount on them, so that's fantastic. Thank you very much, Brian. As I've said in many other videos, any of your darting needs, all you've got to do is get in touch with Brian there. Find him on Facebook, find him on Twitter, he's got a website. Just get in touch with him, tell him what you want, and he'll send it to you, no problems. Right, so the second little bit of a shout out that I want to give is to Darts Wolf 180, who's over there on Twitter. Darts Wolf 180 is opening his own TV channel on Thingy, so it's going to be Darts Wolf TV on YouTube. Nobody, if you've noticed across any of the videos or any of the formats, Edgar TV, Darts Planet TV, have had no associations with me whatsoever. They talk to me, send me a few messages and what have you, but I've not actually appeared on any of the shows. I've not actually done any formal interviews or anything, and I have offered for Darts Wolf TV to do my first ever interview. Now I think that would probably be very, very interesting for people, and I think it would make a fantastic segment on somebody's TV channel. Whether you feel the same or not, I don't know. I'm sure some of my fans will do, but whether the greater and the wider public would do, I'm not sure. That's possibly why it's never happened before, because I've never been approached, so it must be something that I do that puts people off, quite possibly, I don't know. But that's just me. Right, so what I'm going to do is project up here Darts Wolf's Twitter account. So if you go onto Twitter and type in Darts Wolf 180, it'll come up. Follow him on Twitter. Find his YouTube channel. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll project up here as well his YouTube channel. All you've got to do is follow the link to that. I'll put a link down in the description to Darts Wolf TV's new TV channel on YouTube, and you'll be able to just click on that link, go over there. It's not started up yet. The first programme is going to be going out on the 31st of October. So that's the 31st of October is the opening date for the TV channel. Get yourself subscribed. As I've said on Twitter, get on it, lads and lasses. A180 Darts has put a lot on that he's a genuine chap, which we can only take it at face value at the moment, and then we'll see what happens. There's some massive giveaways. There's prize after prize after prize. There's shirts, there's signed photographs of Duzzer, there's all sorts of stuff going on offer on this Darts Wolf TV. Hopefully it'll turn out to be a fantastic support mechanism for grassroots darts. I know when he was in association with Darts Planet TV, you can't win, can you? Hello, Dave speaking.
Hi,
It certainly is. Yeah, no problem, mate. No problem at all.
thank you very much.
Alright, thanks, mate. Ta-ra now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So hopefully it'll be a fantastic and great support hopefully it'll be a fantastic support mechanism for grassroots darts. When Darts Wolf was involved with Darts Planet TV, which was some months ago, he was doing some fantastic things for grassroots darts. Now they had some form of falling out which I'm not privy to, and I'm not going to make any speculations on, but obviously it just sort of like disappeared, the thing of the association between the two companies. Darts Wolf did some fantastic stuff. He gave loads and loads and loads of Nexus boards away, so everybody, and there must be hundreds of people out there that are actually playing on Nexus boards that were given to them basically free from Darts Wolf. Same with other stuff, loads and loads of prizes. He ran loads of stuff for Darts Planet TV, and I think he just blew Darts Planet TV. It was like a great big launch for them up into where they are now, which is quite a big YouTube channel. Again, they're doing giveaways and what have you, but they've foyered off into more commercial stuff now. And hopefully Darts Wolf will go back to the basics and the actual stuff for the dart players. So anyway, that's my little bit of a waffle about Darts Wolf and what have you, and hopefully what he's going to intend to do. And that I'm hoping, because he's actually said on the Twitter feed itself that he's going to interview some normal dart players, some everyday people and what have you. And to be honest with you, I think that's something that we need. We need to understand about other people who play darts, because everybody's journey is different, and it'd be really good to get some basic novice players, possibly people who are prepared to take up darts that have never done it before, all the way up to your professionals. And I'm sure with the profile that Darts Wolf has got, he will get some big pros on there, and I'm looking forward to actually being involved in that. The other little shout out that I want to give right at the end of this, but it's just as important and just as meaningful, is to Loxley Darts. They're a new company, and what they're doing is they're a darts manufacturer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of their darts in for review. We're in talks at the moment about which darts they want reviewing and what have you, and thinking I'll just fit in with that because it's only for my actual fans. So thanks very much for the communiques, Matt, and I look forward to working with you in the future. Right, so let's get on with this episode of A Chuck and a Chat. Number one, I think they're a very, very nice, aesthetically pleasing dart. I mean, I don't know how balanced they are and what have you, we'll find that out in the next video. But they're a very aesthetically pleasing looking dart. The shape on this is the O2 model. This O2 shape seems really, really good. It's like a straight barrel, and then it not just like a bull nose off or a slightly tapered nose. It's got quite a long tapered section, which I think will fit the grip very, very well. What we've got again now is the orbs again, but what we've got is we've got the 01 edition, which is the straight barrel one. This is the for the standard people who throw stuff like Gary Anderson's, etc. As you can see, it's got a nice picture, exploded picture there on the back. Same with the others. So those are the target orbs. What I decided to do, as we were doing the old school stuff, is something that's like really sentimentally important to me. One of the first set of darts when I got serious about darts, before I started making the video, before the Target Carreras. So about 6 to 12 months in me developing the Dynamite Dave throw, I actually ended up with a set of Darrell fittings, and these are, or I consider them to be, the perfect shape, and I still do consider them to be an absolutely buzzing shape for the Dynamite Dave grip. They work really well in the grip, and it's how I developed it round this barrel, this very barrel. Not this very barrel, but his earlier ones, the same shape as these. The same shape dart basically, so these fit absolutely perfectly. So I thought for this month and rolling on to Christmas, if nobody has them, it's a really good prize that for the Christmas giveaway, a bit sentimental and all. Moving on from the darts now, what we're moving on to is we've got both the different versions of the limited edition Tacoma cases. So we've got the skull case in the white stroke grey, sort of a grey white colour, and then we've got this one, which is my favourite, the blue one. This is absolutely beautiful. This is, the colour is stunning on it, really nice. So that's the Tacoma cases, the limited edition ones, not the standard ones. We've got the limited editions, and also if you choose those, you've got some flights that are going to come with them as well, which actually match the cases. So if you've got a plain tungsten set of darts, providing that the colours I suppose go with it, doesn't really matter if they don't, does it? But it just looks fantastic when you take them out of your case and you've got colour match flights and everything. Wicked. Nice light blue set of stems on your darts, and they'll just look, that case and what have you will just look absolutely awesome. Right, so that is the thing of the new Target equipment that we've got that's going into the raffle. So again, don't forget, £2 down here, PayPal me, £2, £4, £6 or £8 gets you 1, 2, 3 or 4 tickets. That magic tenner turns those 5 tickets what you would normally get into 10 tickets and thereafter. So if you put £20 in, you'll get 20 tickets. If you put £30 in, you'll get 30 tickets. Right, so now we've had a chat about those, let's now move on into section 2. So let's go over there right now. Right, so here we are over in section 2. What I'm going to talk about in section 2 is it's a bit of an old school type of thing. I'm going to do a bit of waffling and what have you, so you can always fast forward through this if you don't like the waffling. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about something very important as well, so my advice to you is stick around. You might learn a thing or two, hopefully. That's what I'm here for. Right, so what we're going to talk about is practice. Now, it's really difficult to emphasise to you how important practice is, and I don't mean spending 2 hours a day flinging your darts at the board. That is like going to the tennis court and just hitting the ball over the net for 2 years, because that's all you're doing, just throwing the darts at the board, hitting the ball over the net for 2 years and saying, right, now I'm a world champion tennis player now. And this is the attitude and the mentality that I get out of, I wouldn't say a lot of dart players, but a lot of dart players that think they know everything. Especially you've got your Twitterati people and your people on Facebook and what have you. The same people who I talk about quite a lot, who turn around and say to you, you should throw the darts the way that you feel comfortable, and hey presto, 2 years down the line you're going to be beating Michael van Gerwen. Nah, I don't think so, do you? If you think logically, do you really think so? Nah. The only way that you're going to get to that sort of level is with structured practice. Structured practice and accepting the changes that have to be made to make you into a better dart player. Because, as I've said on 1,000 occasions before, if you've got what I call an helicopter throwing style, or an individualistic throwing style, a bit of a just-in pipe, or your arms up here and you're all over the place, the chances of you getting to being a really good dart player are slim anyway. Don't get me wrong, there is players in the PDC at the moment that are at the top of the game that do have, let's say, individual throwing styles. I've noticed over the last, especially 2 to 3 years, the newcomers that are coming along, I haven't noticed really a one of them that's got one of them type of throws. We've just been watching, or if you've been watching like I've been watching, the ladies' floor competition, which has been going on. If you've noticed in that, a lot of the ladies are very, very individualistic throws. I coach a few women, I coach a lot of men, which is sad really, you know, something I'd really, really love to be able to get a lady player up to world-class standards, because I think a lot of them have got some seriously good talent and all they need is just pointing in the right direction. Fallon Sharrock's come on leaps and bounds in the last 2 years. Lisa Ashton, again quite an individualistic throw, but one that can be repeated. It's very similar to, or I see it as being similar in a way to Gary Anderson. She's got that throw and she's got it off to a tee, and she can use that throw and she can manipulate that throw to get those darts to where she wants to go, and that's probably why she won day one. Right, so back to use. So structured practice. There's a few ways of doing this. Obviously the structured practice doesn't change, but the way I used to do it and the way that I still do it if I'm going in for a comp or something like that, or sometimes even on the day if I've got a big coaching session, say I've got somebody here for 2 or 3 days, a bit like Steve Lamore, what I'll do is I'll get my finger my gear on and I'll have half an hour's practice before somebody turns up, and then when they turn up I'm not hitting 26s and 41s for the first 5 or 10 minutes, because as I've said before, I ain't no natural dart player. All I am is a person who's worked out a way that anybody can throw in a good manner. I was probably as bad or worse than any of you guys out there when I first started this. Not making the videos and darts coaching with Dynamite Dave, I mean the 2.5, 3 years before that, when I actually decided that I wanted to play good darts and I wanted to go on that philosophical and practical journey from point A to point B, and that 2.5 years was how I got from being a player that was averaging probably 35-40 to a player when I started doing the videos, the actual YouTube videos. The 2 JDC players that I coached in the pub all testify to this. I was as good as most of the guys on the telly, without any doubt. It swings in and out as everything does. The other day I had a phenomenal personal best, but it was that good I didn't speak to anybody about it apart from Gav from Darts Planet TV. He's the only person that I told, because it was a purple patch of purple patches of purple patches, which is the sort of thing that I think will only ever probably happen once and probably will never happen again. But yeah, I had an average that was just like unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. I don't even know whether anybody on the TV has had an average that high over 7 legs, I'm not sure, but it's a totally different thing though. It's like, now if I'd, what do you call it, if that would have happened in open competition, say I'd gone in for an open and I'd played like that in the final or something like that, then that would have been a lot more of an achievement than it would have been, which it was, me playing in the studio. Be it against somebody, yes, but like in the studio, in a closed environment with nothing going on around you, and you just hit those. And the thing, the chap who I was playing, and he's part of my family, so we're not breaking any rules around, he's part of my family. So we think, what do you call it, we pace quite well with each other, and it was just one of them total purple patch moments that just blew my brains into bits. Not so much when I was playing, because I was just trying to keep that level there to just keep it going, but when I actually look back at the averages, it was just absolutely mind-bending. Right, so structured practice. The way to approach it. Now if you want to become a serious dart player, now if you're just going to play in the pub and fling the darts at the board, all of this is irrelevant to you. But if you want to be like, I've got about 5 lads in America now that call me coach, and they're really, really serious about it. The only thing that I notice with them, and I've not mentioned it as of yet, is the way that they actually practice. Some of them practice in shorts and trainers and stuff like that, and probably the wrong type of shirts on. And if you're going to practice, and you're going to practice seriously, and you're going to start to think towards winning competitions and what have you, what you need to do is get into a certain frame of mind, and that's a business-like frame of mind. Basically, when you come into practice, you're coming in and you mean it. You're not there just, again, flinging the darts at the board or trying, because what will happen is it's all a distraction. You need somewhere where you can get your kit on. So basically what you should be wearing is a dart shirt, if you've got one. If you can't afford one, or you can't get one, a nice baggy polo shirt made out of the thinnest material that you can find, the thinnest cotton you can find, because they really do, they have to be like this, and these are you can't even see that. They have to be like this, so really, really light and easy to move around in, so there's no restrictions in them whatsoever. The next thing that you want is you want a pair of something like chinos or black jeans you'll get away with for practicing, and you won't be able to play in them. But number one thing that you must have is a nice light shirt like this, and it must be collared, because you will find in 90% of dart competitions you must wear a collared shirt, even if it's a grandad collar, because that's why they've got away with it with these new dart shirts that they're fetching out. They've got grandad collars on them, but they have actually got a collar. Next thing is a pair of what I call Danko dancing pants. So what I have is I've got a pair of like suit trousers. That's what I actually play competitions in. They're like a pair of pants off a suit, but they're black, just plain black trousers, and a plain black pair of, again, dancing shoes, what I call dancing shoes. If I'm coming up to a competition, just to get used to that certain heel height, I'll use them for a few weeks before. Obviously when I'm coaching and what have you, it's a little bit of more of a relaxed atmosphere. But if you're training to go into a competition, what I say, good little thing is saying this, is start as you mean to go on. So it's just all a part of your focus, and all a part of, I tell you what's a really good thing and all, is having a bit of little bit of a ritual. And that's what I do when I go to a competition. When I'm getting ready in the morning, I'm just like getting my mind prepared for the day, getting into them. What I'll do is I'll go and have a shower, I'll do certain things, I'll put all my gear on, make sure that I look alright and what have you. Then I'll take all my gear off again, put it on hangers and what have you, and put it in the back of the car, ready for the off. But when you're practicing, what I would suggest you do personally is get yourself some practice gear together and just wear that, because then when you go into practice, you're not just ambling into your garage or ambling into your back bedroom and flinging the darts at the board. You're actually going there with purpose, if you understand what I mean. Right, so practice routines. Some dead simple ones that are on every one of my videos, and that's when you've got your grouping right, what you want to be looking at is 20s, your cover shot, 19s, 18s, because it's fetching you back up the board, so you go into different parts of the board. 20s, 19s, 18s, 17s, we always put 17s in. 17 is probably one of the most vital trebles that there is on the board, probably one of the best trebles there is on the board, because it's 51 and it takes that one off. If you need to take an odd number off, it's dead easy to calculate. If you're a bit of a dummy at maths like I am, I'm useless. That 51, 3 sevens as well, 21. It's really good, and it's sort of like, it takes that off. So it takes that one off. 21, dead easy to take off a score. 51, dead easy to take off a score. So it's really important that you include those in your actual scoring. So when you're getting down to a finish, you can use them to your advantage. If, as I say, you're not fantastic at maths like me. And the most important part of playing darts, and it is the epicentre of playing darts, is it doesn't matter, you have to forgive me, it doesn't matter how good you are at the mechanical throw, how good you are at your own throw, doesn't matter how good you are at hitting 180s, you can hit 180s every second or third visit. If you can't finish, you can't win a leg. If you can't finish, you can't win a match. It's as simple as that. So the only way we finish in our game is on doubles, is it or is it not? So what you've got to do, in my opinion, like I say in all the videos, it's subjective. In my opinion, the most important part of your game is your doubles. So why not include them in your game? So to start off with, all I'm going to do is say to you is 3-4 years ago now, I was poo-pooed for doing double finishes. People were making pejorative comments on Twitter and Facebook and what have you, that I was out of my mind, you've lost it, you don't know what you're talking about, you're an idiot and all this sort of stuff. Funny isn't it now how we've got Jezza, Peter Wright, Simon Whitlock, Rob Cross. I've even Michael Van Gerwen does it now quite a bit. We've seen Gary Anderson do it. We've got all the top players now doing double finishes, but I'm the lunatic. Isn't it funny how times have changed? When all it is just so logical for me that it makes, especially if you're of the level of somebody like Jezza or Anderson. What's stopping you from going for double 16 double top? What's stopping you from going for double 15 double top, double 15 double 16, double 15 double 18? I don't understand why the logic is to go for a treble, and if you miss it, you're in the same boat as if you miss a single on the inside. You just put another dart next to it. You've got two fantastic markers and one straight into the double. It just, to me, it makes sense. It's creeping into the game now, so obviously there's not only me that thinks that way, other people are now starting to think that way. But again, we've gone off a little bit of a tangent, how important the doubles are to your game, so include them in your game. So when you're coming down, so if you're a 35-40 average player, when you're getting down to 60, so you're getting down to 80 or 60, then you can start thinking to yourself, 60, I tell you what, I'll have a go for two double 15s. And believe me, the first time you hit it, they'll be scraping you off the ceiling. The second time you hit it, you'll think, oh, that's fantastic, that. And then when you start to hit it once out of every 4 times or something like that, you think to yourself, oh, hang on a minute. And the thing is your scoring average hasn't gone up, but your checking out average has. So that will lift your averages. And to be honest with you, that is where, as Bobby George said all those years ago, I think it was in, what would it have been, the 80s maybe the early 90s. Trebles for show, doubles for dough. It's absolutely bang on, and that is what that encapsulates this whole game, is trebles for show, doubles for dough. So include them in your game. Right, so that's the end of this little section. What we'll do is we'll carry on with other practice routines and sections in other videos after this, because we're doing the old school videos where I do a bit of waffling. So what we'll do is in the near future, next few days, next week or so, we'll carry on this conversation and we'll go a little bit further into the practice and a little bit further into how the practice is done. What I'll do is I'll set the cameras up and I'll do some chucking for you like I normally do. But that's the end of this section, so let's go over now into section 3. So let's go over there right now. Dave, as you can see, I've got the old Phil Taylor shirt on. I've not worn this for ages. I hope Phil doesn't mind too much, but just to make it a little bit, mix it up a little bit, we've done the old school, just do a couple of challenges and that. First one is this one, which is nice and simple. 10 visits, nothing below 60 counts for anything. So you've got to hit a minimum of 60, doesn't matter where you go on the treble 19s, the bullseyes or wherever, but it's got to be a minimum of 60 to count. And then what we do is count the scores up, see what you think, what your actual maximum is at the end of it. Right, so here we go. I've set the cameras up so it captures me right backwards and forwards, so it's filmed absolutely live. And here we go, visit 1. Visit 2. $100. Visit 3. Oh, 60 still counts. Anything 60 or above. So we're on visit 4 now. $95. Visit 5. $100. Visit 6. $83. So it still counts. Visit 7. 100. Visit 8. Oh, no score. Visit 8, no score. Visit 9. $100. The 10th and final visit. No score. Just went to pot then for some reason. Felt a bit strange. But there you go. Right, so that was the 10 visit challenge. We're going to calculate it up now and see what we've scored, and we'll put it along the bottom here. So that's 10 visits, nothing below 60 counts for anything. So have a go at that, hopefully you'll find it a bit fun. And what we'll do is we'll come back in a couple of minutes and do another challenge.